Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Stellar. Today we'll be talking about events and methods. Now, events are basically just signals that tell scripts whether something has happened, like a part being touched, a player joining, player leaving, all that kind of stuff. And they are commonly used to have player input, like check whether W is pressed or anything. They're really often used in games. And we also have methods. And what methods are, they are functions, and they're not just functions, they are meant for the object. So you can have part :destroy, or you can have part clone, part get children, part wait for child, that kind of stuff. And if you want to know what methods, what events there are, you can find them here in the object browser. So if you want to go to parts here, we've been here before. We have you have the blue ones, and these are properties, and you can find them here. So these are properties, okay? And you also have these lightning bolts. These are events, okay? So you have touched. You can check whether a part is touched and what it touched. And you have these purple ones, and these are the methods, okay? So you have here destroy, clone, clear out children, can collide, what else? Get mass, get full name, that kind of stuff. And we can use these within scripts to do a lot of advanced stuff. Let's say we have that folder again, the parts folder, and we put a bunch of parts in there. Okay, so part, let's put one here, just like that. Okay, actually let's have some more. Okay, don't be afraid to put even more, because with methods you can do a lot. Okay, so we have this part folder. We're not even gonna name them, okay? We're just gonna call them part for each. Okay, so let's make a script and let's define the folder. So local parts folder equals with space the parts folder. Okay, so like in the previous video, we had a folder and we named every part, and we changed the brick colors of them and the velocity. We're gonna do that again, but instead we're gonna do that to, how many parts are we gonna do that for? To 30 items, okay? So yeah, we're not gonna name all of these. We're not gonna put them all in a script. We're gonna do it the easy way, okay? Okay, so like in the previous video, we had the table, okay? So local t equals these curly brackets, okay? But what we're gonna do workspace, not workspace, parts folder, colon, get children, okay? So what children are, this case we say parts folder, and we're gonna get the children of that. So parts folder, and we're gonna get the children. So select children, it's gonna get these items, okay? So that's gonna give you all those items and put it into your table, okay? So this is gonna be a table, get children. And we can use that to make a for loop and change multiple properties of these parts. So let's do for I, parts in I pairs, t, do, end. So let's say we want to change the transparency. So we'll do transparency is 0.5 part dot brick color dot new. Let's do black or something. Part dots assembly linear velocity is vector 3 dot new 100 again, and let's wait a second. Okay, all right, so that's pretty short, because in the previous video we would have written every part down. We would have named every part. That's pretty annoying, but we just did it with one simple line, with just one little function built into this object, the parts folder. Okay, so let's run the script and see what happens. Okay, so this one turned transparent. They all jump up accordingly. All right, that's pretty cool. Okay, that's pretty cool. We wrote it pretty short, so that's very nice. All right. Okay, so we have get children. But what we also can do is like destroy instead. Okay, let's remove this because that's not useful anymore. Okay, so let's see what happens when we do :destroy. Okay, so let's run this, and hey, where did everything go? Let's look in the Explorer. Hey, the parts folder is not there. What happened? Okay, so what we just did, we destroyed the parts folder, and destroy is just basically deleting something. Okay, so that's basically all I can say about it. It doesn't return anything, so you can just do parts folder :destroy. Let's see what else we have. We have, let's go to folder actually. What else do we have? We have get full name. Okay, let's see what happens when we do print get, parts folder get full name. Let's see what happens. Hey, it says workspace.parts folder. That's pretty cool. Well, it's not really useful, but maybe it's useful for someone one day. What else we got? Let's not read from there because some things there are not supported anymore. These ones you should read from. Let's see what else we got. Is a, okay, so we can check is a, and then we need a class name. Okay, so let's say is parts folder a folder. Let's see what happens. It says true. Okay, pretty cool. Is parts folder parts? See what happens. It says false. Interesting. So is just checking whether something is something. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's go check what parts has, what kind of methods it has. It has can collide with, it has what else, get mass, resize. Okay, let's try that stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and make that parts table again. So parts table equals parts folder get children. Then we can have a for loop again. So for I parts in I pairs parts table do, and let's say print part get mass. Let's say what else we want to do. Part is grounded. Okay, let's see what happens when we do this. Okay, so it printed everything at once because we didn't put a weight, but that's no issue for us. Okay, so it says this number, which is the mass. It's not grounded. Okay, cool. That's pretty cool, I guess. Okay, so yeah, these are methods. So they do something with the part or object, any object that is given. Okay, if you want to know whether a method's gonna return something, like for example, get children, you just go here and let's go to get children here. You see objects. It says returns a read-only table of this object's children. So it clearly says here it's gonna return objects in a table. So you're gonna do local something equals to the method. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And also a quick thing, you can also do this if you like. You can do that instead. Let me remove that. You can just do for I comma part in I pairs, parentheses, and then you can put the method in there and do. It's gonna do the exact same thing. It just looks a little more simplistic. Okay, so that's it for methods. Let's go ahead and go to events now. So what we can do is, instead of doing this printing boring stuff, we can check whether this part is touched. Okay, so let's go ahead and go here to the lightning bolts, which are the events, and let's see what event we need. Here we got it, touched. So touched is an event. Okay, and when this part is touched, it's gonna tell scripts that it has been touched and what touched it. Okay, so if you want to use that, it's very simple. You do part dot touched, and then we need to connect it to a function. Okay, so let's do connect, and then we need a function in here. So let's just make a function, local function, and let's call it, it could be anything. I'm just gonna call it when touched. Okay, good. Now we have to tell this connect here that we're gonna connect it to when touched, and make sure not to use parentheses here. because you want to refer to the function and not to run it, okay? So make sure to not put parentheses here when you're connecting, okay? Okay, so that's cool. So every time a part in the parts table get touched, we're gonna run this function. So let's say print, what do we want to say? So let's say print I have been touched. Okay, let's try it out in play mode. Okay, so it says in the output it has been touched 30 times, which is normal because it touched the base plate. So let's see what happens when we decide to touch this part. Okay, so it's printing a couple times that it has been touched, which is good. And the reason why it prints like 3 times per part is because it could be like that you're untouching it and then touching it again, like when you're walking, which is normal. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So let's say you want to know what touched it. So when you go here, you can read here that it's an event, the name of the event which is touched, and you see here parentheses, and it says here instance other parts. So what this means is that it's gonna return an instance which is the other part. So we can do here other parts, okay? You can call it anything. Most people just call it hit. Some people call it like other parts. Some people call it object hit. You can call it anything. Let me just call it other part for now, for simplicity. Let's say I've been touched by, we're gonna say other part. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so it says in the output, I have been touched by base plate. Which makes sense because the parts have touched the base plate first. Okay, so let me see what happens when we touch it. It says, I've been touched by right foot, I've been touched by left foot, and that makes sense. So yeah, that's how you get the other part that touched the main part. So yeah, you can connect an event like this with connect when touched, but you can also do it like this, which is kind of the advanced way, but also the most commonly used way. So instead of doing this, you can just do this, okay? So you remove this, you do function, parentheses, end, okay? And then in here, you're gonna say other part, and you can say, I have been touched by other part. So that's gonna do the exact same thing, okay? Okay, so yeah, that's events, but that's not all for events, okay? So we also have, instead of connect, we can also wait until something has happened. So we can do part dot touched colon wait, okay? Okay, so there's connect and wait. And what wait does, it's gonna wait until the part is touched. And as you know, when you're waiting in a loop, it's not gonna continue looping until the wait is done. So when we do here print I have been finally touched, it's not gonna print this until the part is finally touched, okay? So let's try. Okay, so as we can see here, it has been touched 30 times, and when we try touching these, it's not gonna print anything because they've already been touched and they don't care if they're being touched again, okay? So yeah, if we want to prevent it from touching the base plate, what we can do, we can select these parts and we can say anchor them, okay? So now when we try playing it, so now it doesn't print anything at all because it's anchored, it doesn't move, it doesn't care if it's being touched by the base plate. But when a non-anchored touches it, so for example us, we're not anchored, we can freely move around, okay? So when we try to touch a random part, for example this one, it doesn't print anything. But when we go to the first part, it's gonna print I've been finally touched. And the reason why is we have here a loop, okay? And we're looping through the parts that are in the parts table, okay? And then we're saying wait until the part is touched. So that means it's not gonna go to the next part until it's touched, okay? So now when we try touching this one, it says I've been finally touched. When we go to the next one, it says that over and over again. But when we try going back, it doesn't print anything because it doesn't care it's been touched anymore. So yeah, you can do that. So yeah, I know events are a bit complicated with wait and connect, but if you just try practicing a lot with that, it's gonna make sense at some point, and it's gonna be really cool, because we can also do stuff like this. So forget all of this and forget the folder, because we don't care. I'll forget the script. Let's say we have like a part here. Let me just snap it to 1. Okay. And put like that. And have like a little red button here. Also anchor them. Okay. So we have like a little red button here. And let's say we want to detect whether this button is touched. What we can do, we can add something called a click detector, okay? And when we go to the object browser and look for click detector, you have these methods, you have these properties, and you also have these events here. So we can see here we have mouse click, mouse hover enter, mouse hover leave, and right mouse click. Okay, so we can use that to detect whether this part here has been clicked. So let's do put a script here, and let's do local click detector script.parent.click detector. Okay, so we're getting the script here, we're getting the parent of the script, which is this, and then we're saying get the click detector, okay? We could also do it like this, so script.parent, because script.parent is the click detector, okay? So yeah, you can do it however you want. I'm doing it this way. Okay, so we can do click detector dot mouse click connect with a function, and okay, so we can say print I have been clicked, and we can also like change, let's say workspace the baseplate brick color is brick color brown. Okay, so yeah, we can do that, and let's see what happens when we try running it. Yeah, so let me click this button here. Hey, I've been clicked. Pretty nice, pretty cool. Cool. Okay, so yeah, that's how you detect whether a part is being clicked. You can also have like click detector mouse over enter and function. You put your mouse on me. We can have click detector mouse over leave, connect function, print you remove your mouse from me. Okay, cool. So let's see what happens. Okay, so let me put my mouse on it. Hey, you put your mouse on me. When we leave it, you removed your mouse from me. And when we click it, I've been clicked. Pretty nice. So yeah, that's really the power of events, okay? And if you want to detect whether a key is being pressed on your keyboard, well, that's gonna be in the next series, because that's a little too advanced for now. So yeah, let's keep it to simple stuff for now. You can also check which player touched it. So I don't know if you can see this in your script, but we can see here, we have connect here, we have the function that we have to give, and we can see here it returns the player who clicked, and it says player here. We can also read that from here. Mouse click, player who clicked. Okay, so when we do that, player who clicked, we can say I've been clicked by player who clicked, and we can say like if player who clicked that name is Rabbi99, then end. Okay, we're checking whether the click detector has been clicked. It's gonna say who clicked it, and if it's Rabbi99, which is me, then change the brick color of the base plate. So let's see what happens when we run this. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on it. Hey, it's changed. I've been clicked by Rabbi99. Okay, cool. So let's say this one is actually Rabbi98. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, so let's click on it. Hey, nothing's happening to the base plate, but it does print that it's been clicked by me. Cool, so our script is working, which is pretty good. So that's basically how events work in scripts. There's a lot more to it, so I don't want to confuse you too much, but let's say we have like a little loop here. So while true do wait 1 second, and let's print I, okay? Okay, so according to our script, we have defined the click detector, we made a loop here, and we're checking whether the click detector is being clicked. So let's put it to 99 again. Actually, let's have no if statement at all. So if it's being clicked, it's gonna change for sure, okay? So that should work, right? Okay, the printing high like we said in the script. So let's just click it. Hey, I'm clicking it, but it doesn't do anything. Why is that? Well, that's because in here we have an infinite loop, and it's waiting a second every time, and it's printing high. So why does it stop us from clicking it? Well, that's because this is looping the whole time. It's never gonna reach this line of code, okay? So this is never being registered, so it's never connecting the mouse click to this function. But however, when we put this like here, so we're basically just connecting the event before the loop. So if this is right, we should be able to click the mouse and have a loop. So let's try that out. Okay, so it's printing high, which is what we had before. See if it's actually working. So let me click this. Hey, now it's working. That's pretty funny. So that's weird. It's able to get clicked events, but it's also able to run a loop at the same time. Why is that? Well, that's because events are connected to a function, okay? So it doesn't care whether there's a loop running or anything else is happening. It has to run the function. It doesn't care at all, okay? However, when we put it here, why does it suddenly not work here? Because we never connected it, because this loop is saying like, no, you're not allowed to do that. I'm still looping, you know? So you have to make sure to connect your event before an infinite loop, okay? So if this loop was like, let's say for I, 1 to 10. So if it was like this loop isn't forever, okay? So it's gonna stop until I is 10, which is about like in 10 steps, okay? Which is 10 seconds. So this event should be connected after 10 seconds. Okay, so let's see if that's true. Okay, so it's starting to print high. We cannot use it yet, like we cannot do anything with it yet. But once it hits 10, we should be able to use it. So let's click it now. Hey, now it's working, which is pretty nice because, yeah. Okay, so one final thing about events, okay? So we have connected this event to this function, okay? But we can also disconnect it, okay? And what connect is doing, it's returning something called RBX script connection, which is connection for short, okay? So we can do local connection is click detector mouse click connect, okay? So this is the connection, okay? Okay, so when we try looking for RBX connection here, we cannot find it. However, we can find it on the website. So RBX script connection, we found it here, okay? So when we click on that, it has only one property and only one function, which is disconnect, and the property is connected, okay? So yeah, that is this, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and wait 10 seconds here and say print, we can no longer click the button. And then we say connection disconnect, because that's what's disconnecting the event from this function. And we can also print connection dot connected. Okay, so let's see what happens when we try the script. Okay, so let's go ahead and click this thing. Hey, I cannot click it. Why? Oh, because it disconnected it after 10 seconds. So we might want to make it a little longer because it takes time to start up the scripts and the whole game. Let's make it 20. So after 20 seconds, we can no longer click on the button. Okay, so let's go ahead and click it a couple times. Hey, very fun. This is epic. Hey, why can I no longer click? This is stupid. Why can I not? Oh, you can no longer click the button. Oh, damn. So what happened here? We waited 20 seconds, okay? And then we say print, you can no longer click the button. And then we disconnect the function, so it no longer sends signals to the function that it has been clicked. And then it prints that it's no longer connected. Okay, so that's pretty cool, alright? We can do stuff like that. We can also have like a little variable here called max clicks, okay? So let's set that to 10 clicks, okay? And then we say here, we have another variable here called clicks. And we set this to 0 because you start with 0 clicks, okay? And then we say here, I've been clicked by player who clicked, and then we say clicks is clicks plus 1. So basically clicks equals 0 plus 1, clicks equals 1 plus 1, clicks equals 2 plus 1, so on, so on, so on. Okay, so then what we're gonna say, if clicks is less than or equal to max clicks, then we're gonna change the brick color. Else print your free trial of clicks has been expired. Okay, after this we want to disconnect it to like keep like a little performance on the service, so we can say connection disconnect. Okay, so we already have a little warning here which says unknown global connection. So what that means, it says it doesn't know what connection is. It's like it doesn't recognize the variable. So this is a little bit of a weird thing, because it clearly can see connection here, but why does it not see it? Well, it's a little bit of a strange situation here. It's hard to explain. So we say connection is equal to this entire thing, okay? So that's basically the same as saying like local number equals number plus 2. It doesn't recognize number because that's just self-reference and it doesn't know what itself is, you know? So if you want to solve that, what you can do is instead you can say like number is 0, number is number plus 1, and that solves it. So we're gonna do the same concept to this. So what we're gonna do is local connection is nil. Then we're gonna say here connection equals click detector, mouse click, blah blah blah. So now it recognizes it, which is good. So yeah, if you want to register connections, I recommend doing it like this instead of directly setting it. Let's try the script out. So what we just did, we're checking if we're allowed to click this part. If not, then we're gonna disconnect the connection. Okay, so we should be able to click it max 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, your free trial of clicks has been expired. Now we can no longer click it because we disconnected the function. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So to recap it again, what we're doing here, we have a couple variables here. The click detector itself, the number of max clicks we can do, the clicks itself, and we have the connection variable. We set it to nil because, like I said before, when you're doing like this, we don't have this, it doesn't know what connection is. And that's because, let's say you have like a variable here called number, and you're saying, okay, number is number plus 1, but it doesn't know what number itself is. So if you want to solve that, number equals 0, number is number plus 1. All right. So then we're saying connection equals click detector mouse click connect to this function, and we're saying print I've been clicked by the player who clicked. We're saying clicks is clicks plus 1. We're checking if clicks is less or equal to max clicks, and if that's true, we're changing the brick color. Else we're printing this, and we're disconnecting the connection. So it's no longer sending click signals. All right, so that's basically events. There's nothing really much more to events. I basically covered everything about events. If you want to check like whether a player has joined, you go to the players object and you find here player added, and it returns the player. And you have like player removing, and let's say you want to detect whether a part is added to the workspace, you go to world root, which is kind of a weird name, but they decided to do like that. So world root, and you can find here child added. So yeah, just screw around with it a little, make like cool stuff like a door or something. So whenever you touch this button, it's going to change the transparency of a door. Events are pretty cool. You can do about anything with them, and that's what scripting is for. So yeah, that's basically all for it for events and methods. I hope you learned something new today. I hope I did a good job on explaining this, because events are truly one of the hardest things to explain, and along with methods kind of, but you know. So thank you for watching, and in the next video we're gonna do a recap so you refresh your memory about stuff, and after that we're gonna start talking about math and like understanding errors and warnings, that kind of stuff. So I'll see you in the next one. See ya.